guys, in this video we're going to talk about the distributive property. Okay, we talked a little bit about the other day, but I want to start with a model. So think about an array when you were younger in an elementary school and doing multiplication. So you have the x and you have the 5. Remember, those get multiplied, so that becomes 5x. Okay, same thing here. We have 4h times 6. Okay, length times width, right? 4h times 6. None of that can be combined. So let's look at some of these ones. So we want to write it as a sum and a product. Okay, so 2 is going to be times p, so that's going to be 2p. And then it's going to be plus 2 times 7, which is 14. That's as a sum, but as a product, we can write it as 2 parentheses p plus 7, because you're multiplying the 2 times both parts. Okay, so the next one is going to be 3 times 8, okay, which would be 24, plus 3 times t, which is just 3t. With distributive, it's going to be 3 on the outside and then 8 plus t. Same thing here, 1 on the outside and 9 plus k, or 9 plus k, to be honest, because you're multiplying it. Let's look at this one. This is going to be 2 times negative r. So that's going to be negative 2r, because it's negative 2 times r. This bottom one, the 10 is on times both parts. So 10 parentheses j plus 5, or 10j plus 50, because this one is 10j, and this is 5 plus 10, which gives you 50. So here, it's going to be negative 6 times negative 2k is going to give you positive 12k. So now without the model, remember distributive, you're going to multiply by both parts. We talked a little bit about this. You're going to multiply by both parts, draw that line. So it's going to be 3 times x, which will be 3x, 3 times 7, which is 21. Okay, and those can't combine. So let's do this one. Multiply negative 2 times c, so that's going to be negative 2c. And then negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. Remember your sleeping dog. A very sleeping dog, okay? So here, nothing can be combined there. It's going to be 7 times 3h, which would be 21h. 7 times 2 is 14. And then just bring the 2h down, because it's just distributing the 7 to everything just in the parentheses. So now we can combine like terms. So 21 plus 2 is going to be 23h plus 14. Okay. This next one, think about what's in this outside of this is a negative 1 is being distributed to both parts. So negative 1 times 4s is going to be negative 4s. And then negative 1 times negative 3 is going to be positive 3. So we're going to distribute this to both parts, and then we're going to combine it with that b, 8b. So negative 3b times 5b is going to be negative 15b squared. Okay, let's talk about that. You got the negative 3 times 5 is 15. But then think about it. It's b times b, which is going to be b squared. Okay. Then negative 3 times 3, well, negative 3 times 3 is going to be negative. Get that erased. Is going to be negative 9b, because there's not another b, so it's not b squared, it's just times 1. Because if you think about it, in your array, if it was negative 3b times 3, see how you would only get the 1b? But before, we had the negative 3b, so it was both. b times b. Okay. And then plus 8b. We can combine these like terms. 15b squared. And then it's negative 9 plus 8, which would be negative b or negative 1b. For this one, we're going to distribute the 4. So 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 3 is going to be negative 12z minus 11, combine like terms. So negative 12z plus 21. Okay, try this one and come back and check. So 3x times x is going to be 3x squared. 3x times 2 is going to be plus 6x. And then we're going to bring everything else down that didn't get distributed. And now we're going to combine like terms. So 3x and 4x is going to be 7x squared plus 3x and 6x is going to be 9x. And those can't be combined. Okay, here we go, here we go. Notice I'm distributing twice because the negative c has to be distributed and this negative 1 has to be distributed and then combine like terms. So negative c times 5c is going to be negative 5c, negative 5c squared. Negative c times 9 is going to be negative 9c. Negative 1 times 2c is negative 2c. Negative 1 times 4 is going to be negative 4. Okay. So let's combine like terms. So negative 5c minus 9 and minus 2c is going to be an negative 11c, and then minus 4. Okay. So notice this one we have to distribute again twice. A lot of people in that last one forget the negative, so make sure that you do it. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. X times v is going to be xv. X times negative 2x squared is going to be negative 2x squared. 3x times 5x is going to be positive 15x squared. 3x times 2v is going to be positive 6xv. Okay, so remember there's your invisible 1. So 6 and 1 is going to be 7xv. And then negative 2 plus 15 is going to be positive 13x squared. And again, if you had a different order, it's fine. If you had 13x squared plus 7xv is fine as well. Okay, now go ahead and do the rest of the practice and then check the key.